Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and today we are making ornaments for the holidays. They are super cool. If you look here, here's one that I've done with yellow paper, and I've gone back with a slightly deeper shade of yellow or gold and colored in off of the pattern in order to create this fun dimensionality. In this example, I've cut the pattern out of a deeper blue, and then with a lighter blue, I've gone back and glued another color paper, which is kind of like what we're going to do today. This is in roughly 8.5 by 11 size paper, but if you use 11/17 paper, you can make the whole globe idea larger. I saw this online, and I don't know how to pronounce the name, but we're going to put a link to it, because if you go to her site, you're able to, for free, print out the same pattern that I printed. So what you're going to want to do is go to the link, print it out. She has lots of cool ones that she's done drawings that you can color in, so you may find some that you want to purchase. But you can print out the free one, and from that you're going to do two things. You're going to take the pattern and you're going to use it to print on the color paper that you want. You can see lots of different choices, and like I said, different sizes. Once we're going to do the red one today, you're also going to want to print one out of white. The reason that you're going to want to print it in white is so that you can go back and then you can see this is the one that I cut out, but notice how it perfectly matches this arc shape on the pattern. So once you cut this out of a thick, heavy cardstock, if you listen to this, you can tell it's heavy cardstock. This then is what you're going to use when you go back and you cut along the cut lines, and you're going to end up cutting these 3 strips. So in this example today, I've done them out of red. You're going to have 3 of these, but you want to have all the score lines. So I'm going to use this thick cardstock as a guide to lay this down and line it up with the pattern, and then take my scoring tool and score right along that edge. And then I'm going to move this over and line up my pattern with the scoring edge, and then take my scoring tool and score. And then I'm going to just repeat this on the other side. You're going to actually do this on all 3 of this paper strips that you need to make one of these ornaments. Do it nice and strong. Okay, so once you have that done on all 3 of them, then I decided to go back and use this same pattern to cut out these little arcs. I just used this on, you probably can't even see, but a pencil line on the back side of my pattern paper so that I can place these in these little arc sections. You want really solid adhesive because it's going to get folded, so you don't want it to start to pull away. So I'm going to put, I may not get as much as you would get, but you want solid adhesive, and then place these on the arcs. And I like it for that, I kind of like having that line to show it. I like the shading or the dimensionality it gives. I'm going to go back, and anything that sticks out on the back side, I'll trim them all later. So I'm going to add my paper shape on all 4 of those circle sections. Once you have all of these shapes, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to trim off any place where there's excess sticking out. I was careful. I wanted to leave the dark line on the pattern for each of the arcs showing. So that meant that I was coming in a little smaller than the pattern that I used to cut out these polka dot arcs. So it's easy enough to trim the straight edge, much easier than trying to trim the arc sections. I am going to go back and recrease with my fingers now on all those fold lines, but I also want to be able to hang this like on a Christmas tree, or maybe the large ones you want to hang from the ceiling. So you need to create a hole where you can put the hanger through. So I've marked with a pencil a little spot, and I'm just going to use an 1/8 inch hole punch to come back in and punch a small hole in the middle of where these arcs are. And right now I'm going to go ahead, you can see I've gone ahead with just a thin narrow ribbon, and I've tied a double knot so that I know that for sure it's not going to slide back through that hole. So I'm going to go ahead and poke this through, and I can use my tweezers to just give it a little help. You can see how I've poked it through. And when I pull it, it's going to stop at the knot. So eventually this will be how I'm going to hang it. I want to go back now and use the crease lines, and I'm going to fold along all my crease lines. So let me do one. It's really good to let the paper that I just glued down set up. It would be better if I let it set longer so it could really stick better, but you'll get the idea. So I'm going to repeat this on this one, and on this one, and on this one. So I'll have all of these strips with all of these score lines. Okay, so once you have your score lines all creased, now you want to take and start to put the assembly together. To do that, I'm going to put adhesive along this tab that's marked on the end of the pattern, and I'm going to bring this around, and it actually helps to flatten this back out for now so that when I bring this around, I can overlap so that I line up with that line on the tab that's right on the pattern, and go ahead and press down on the adhesive so that I have a nice arc on one of these. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the second one. Don't do the third one yet. You do the first two. Once again, I want to flatten this out so that it makes it easy to pull this around. Overlap right to that mark on the pattern, and then press down. And before you do the third one, you're going to slide this one inside the other one. So it's going to slide in like so. And you want to make sure you can move it around until you have these so that they align like this. And now the third one, what I'm going to do is put adhesive on here, but then I'm going to position this and weave this through. So I have my adhesive ready to go, but now I have to weave it through. So you can see I've woven it through. I'm going to pull it around, and I'm going to weave it through this side. And now bring these two ends together. Once again, use that line on the pattern as your guide to see how far to overlap it. And then go ahead and press and let it set. So you have the construction ready. You want to slide this now that you have it fastened. Then you want to slide it around so that you have all of the polka dot arcs exposed. So you can see how you have these showing, they're all showing. Now, since you've already got the fold lines there, now you just go back and you crease on all your fold lines. So I'm going to fold every place that I've scored. And look at that. Is that not just the funnest, coolest thing? She's genius for coming up with this pattern. You're going to love checking out her site. We'll put the link up and you can print out the pattern, print it in different sizes, and then just start to play. You know, whether you hang them on the tree or from the ceiling, these 3D paper ornaments, they're going to look great.